Hello and welcome to your favorite parliamentary magazine program, The Chamber, right here on Citi TV. Of course, Parliament is still on recess, and we're on our series with former members of Parliament, getting to know them and what their thoughts generally are on the development of their country. Today, very excited to bring you a very novel edition. I'm talking to my first ever member of Parliament who got into Parliament on an independent ticket. First ever interviewing someone like that on The Chamber. So we'll get into the nuances of all of that. You know, this is the very first time in our Parliament where the balance of power hangs on an independent candidate. So it promises to be exciting. We'll take a break. When I come back, I'll introduce my guests and we'll delve into the issues. You're welcome back from the break. My guest is the Honorable Seth Adjei Baah, former member of Parliament, celebrated entrepreneur, businessman. Welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
It's a pleasure for us to be allowed into your complex. Good to be here.
Good to see you too.
Yes, I'm sure we'll leave with a lot of nuggets. But first of all, let's get to know you a bit more. Where were you born? How did it all start? Education and all of that.
Thank you. I'm quite an old man. I was born some 62 years ago in 1960 in a village in the eastern region. Now a town, Nkawkaw, precisely. When I was born, I used to be with my mom and dad, so I was brought up in that way. Okay. And that polished me to be what I am today. Unfortunately, there are a lot of broken homes these days, so kids don't have the privilege to stay with their parents for them to mentor them. Sure. My father was a businessman, so technically, whilst I was growing, I started learning trade. Okay. I remember any time we went to the farm, whilst you are coming, anything that you can carry from the farms, you come and sell, and that is for you. Wow. So if you don't carry something to come and sell, you don't have money.
That's honing your marketing acumen right from
Very
that.
Very good. From that point, I wanted to carry some oranges, some pears, some mangoes. When I come, I sell, I get some money, and I put them in a penny box. Wow. So whilst I was in class 3, I had a lot of money in that box. I remember one day, I was furious in the house, so I said, I'll take my money away. I took the bus to school. By the time I came, a lot had been stolen. So people talk about the Kwawus, the ingenuity of Kwawus about business. Yeah. That's how it starts. Right from the tender age, I knew how to make money, keep money, and value money.
Savings culture and all
yes,
of that.
So that is how it started. I went to school around age 15, 19 that time. I finished school. Unfortunately for me, by the time I was a secondary Form 4, I lost my dad. Ooh. And that started the challenges and difficulties. So it was quite difficult, but I was fortunate to have scholarship to be able to go through the school. Okay.
So which school is that?
Oh, there's a village school, St. Peter's Secondary School in the Eastern
St. Peter's School. St. Peter's is a village school, really? In Kwetiako?
It's in a village, not that the school is a village school.
So
it is the school.
Hey, Dignitati Homino.
Homino is the school and all others. But it's in a village. So when you get there, you don't see anything but trees and studying around. Yeah, so just after school, I told my father pass on, so to continue was a challenge. Yeah. And a friend of mine said, the business sign up, a call man will definitely be doing business. Why do you worry yourself to continue? So I bought into the idea. It was the time of the revolution, 1981. I finished Form 5. Okay. So there was nothing to do, but I took the opportunity around what was happening at that time and learned what we call the Don't Touch Me soap. Okay. Because that was the time His Excellency John Lawrence had bound the importation of essential commodities, so we have to make do with what we have here. So I started doing Don't Touch Me soap with initial capital of 5,000 old cedis, which is 50 pesos today, and that is the beginning of Shaba.
Yeah, I see. So, what did the production process involve at that time, and probably. What did you study? Maybe were you a science student?
Business? I was a science student.
So obviously you understand the chemistry and all of those.
I came out, caustic soda, soda ash, oil, salt, perfume, and a color. That gives you exactly what you want, the soap. Wow. So I joined the wagon to learn how to do it. After that, I started. And my idea was to make some good money. Those days, we could make 300 cedis, all cedis, profit a day.
Wow.
So to make that money, I had to start at 4 a.m. because I wanted to do 6 drums a day to be able to make that margin. I had 3 drums, so I start with 3 at 4 a.m. By 12:01, I have to dry them and get on with the second one. By 10:11, I'm at actual for the day. Religiously, I started doing that.
4 a.m. to 11 p.m.
To 11 p.m. consistently. And after 6 months, I had raised 23,000.
From
the
5,000 to 23,000.
I raised 23,000. So I started with a shop as well as doing the soap. So I employed 2 people at a tender age of 21.
Wow, and this was in Nkawkaw.
Nkawkaw. So in the morning, I'll set up the fire, everything. People think Shaba just started. I'll use chisel and hammer and split the firewood and set up the fire.
Wow.
And the employee will come at 7, continue by 8:30, I'll go and open the shop. I was selling ladies' wear. I remember a friend of mine came and said, oh, Kofi, obey more Tom Madros. Then she started making fun of it, but I wasn't disturbed or worried in any way. He said, can you try one for me to buy some? Then they start laughing. Well, I was doing that because ladies are those who spend money on those things. True. For men, you get 1 shirt, 1 jeans, you are true to go. So I was selling gradually and getting money from here, getting money from there. As much as I get money, I put it in the shop. Until a point in time, they allowed the importation of the various soaps and other essentials. Then I stopped with the soap. The soap was called Bosa, B-O-S-A. So I concentrated on the shop, and gradually I started expanding. So that is how Shaba started until 1990. Let me tell you what happened. I was in Nkawkaw, and we decided to travel for some full gospel programs. By then, I was building a house. Then I went to buy cables. Then I said, these things are very expensive. And the guy told me that they don't get it from anywhere here. They have to buy from Nigeria because nobody is importing the cables to Ghana. I said, what? Can I do that? Then the guy said, well, if you can, but the cables, honey cables from UK. So I just picked an address on it. And those days was telex. I did telex. They gave me the prices was less than 30% of what they were selling here. So I picked that telex with my company registration, everything. I went to the British Embassy. They told me that you will never get visa. I said, what do I lose? I don't know. So I went there just to give it a try. I put all my documents. The woman looked at me. What are you going to do? I said, I want to go and buy this and come and sell. We don't have them in Ghana. We have to import them from Nigeria. Are you sure you come back? I said, oh, I want to leave my business. Then the woman said, I'll give you the chance. Then I started laughing because I wasn't sure of myself when I was going. But so they gave me the visa. I went to London, a typical village boy. I had some money with me. Then let me tell you one interesting thing. When I was growing up, my father taught me that if you go to Accra, if you don't take care, they will rob you. So I'll put on the shorts, put my money in the shorts, then I put the trouser on. So when I get somewhere I want to buy something, can I have somewhere to ease myself to go use the washroom? I'm going there to remove the trouser and take my money out. So I went there and I was using the same thing. Then the man said, how do you pay? I said, can I use the washroom? I came back. He said, cash. They take checks and transfers, cash. I said, yes, I want to pay cash. Then he looked at me and said, they should give me further discount.
Wow.
So I bought the cables, brought them to Accra, sent them to Nkawkaw. I was there over 1 month. Not even one had been purchased. So a friend came and said, what? You have this thing and you are here. Go to Accra. A typical village boy who is afraid of Accra. I loaded the things on a truck, came to Accra. I got here around 3 p.m. Before 6 o'clock, people have purchased about 530,000. I said, what? Then why should I stay in Nkawkaw? So I found somewhere to sleep. Within 3 weeks, they were finished. I went to UK again. So every 2 months I was going to bring cables. So I looked for a shop to move to Accra. So that brought me to Accra because I realized that the money is printed here and shared here. So I don't see why I should stay at the village over there. That is what brought me to Accra. And I haven't regretted it.
Location is key.
It's key. And the numbers, if you have money and you can import, let's say, you are selling sugar, and you can bring 100 bags, and the consumption of the area is 100 bags. If you have money to bring 1,000 bags, it's the same 100 bags.
So which area did you set up at, and usually which people were your clientele?
When I got to Accra?
Accra, yeah.
Oh, I had a shop at Newtown, just opposite the, is it cinema? The cinema.
Yeah.
Because I was occupying that building where Piram, I gave it to Piram. I was in the whole building. So I came here and all the people around the Opera Square were buying from me. I introduced the honey cables, Astra fittings, Tata bulbs, flames from India and other things. So I started importing variety of items.
And how old were you at the time?
Very young, you know.
Early 30s.
I got married at the age of 25.
Wow.
And my wife was a young lady, 21-year-old, very beautiful lady. She's still beautiful, you know. And I got to Accra, established in Accra at the age of 30.
Wow.
Yeah, so at that time, I started doing a lot, and I think started doing some few adverts, and Shaba became a household name. I've never regretted. So something happened. One day I was invited to join the Commonwealth Business Council. So when I received the letter, I discussed with a common friend. They said, "What, Kofi? This place is there. It's not an O-level to know." I don't know what happened to me. Then I said, "Then I'll go to school." That's all.
How old were you then?
30.
30. Okay, so still when you were 30 is...
I said I'll go to school. So, why? So I went to Jimpa to enroll, and the rector told me, "Oh, Shaba, don't come and waste our time." Before the thing, because that time I was employing even 2 expatriates. I had employed over 580 people.
What?
I was into construction, into trade, into...
At 30?
Yes.
Wow.
So he said, "Shaba, we are not going to employ you." So I spoke to a friend in UK. They said, "You want to go to school? I'll pay for you." Then he enrolled me on long distance through the Open University and paid everything. So I started with the course. They will send materials, everything to me. You go 3 days in a year. I went there and they asked some question. Then they discussed it at length. Then I raised my hand and said, "I don't believe in that. It doesn't work that way." Then
this must have been a business class.
Business class for
business
case. Then I explained. Then the lecturer was trying and said, "He's correct." Against all the foreigners to other people, I said, "He's correct." So at lunch he came to sit by me and said, "What do you do?" I said,
"I'm a businessman.
I'm a businessman. I do business." "How many people do you employ?" Then I mentioned, and said, "Why are you here?" I said, "Certificate." I said, "For what?" I'm the professor. I've done business twice, and it's collapsed. Then I asked what happened. Then I gave him the solution. "Oh my God, I never thought of this."
Theory is different from practice.
You don't have to be here. Then I said, "In my country, if you don't have the certificate, they don't respect you. So I want to have a certificate." That's what compelled me to go to school to have a first degree. Other than that, it was just starting with the ordinary level, doing everything. But when I got a first degree through the long distance, at least it gave me the confidence to be there that when people are talking about anything, I could do them. Until I decided to go to Jimpa to do masters in governance and leadership. And I started working hard. I think I saw it quite early because things were quite okay. So one day something happened. I was talking to my member of parliament. Then it was like, we are supposed to sponsor, so we don't have a say. And then I felt, what?
Businessmen are supposed to fund politicians.
Yes.
So politicians.
So I said, what? So one day I went to the MC and said, "Sir, the way things are going, I want to contest." I said, "What?" He looked at me about 3 to 4 minutes. He didn't. Then said, "Okay, we'll see." From there, they didn't want to talk to me again.
Hey,
Having sponsored my own party, MPP, doing everything with them. Then the MP said, "Oh, but he was sponsoring because he was protecting my business."
Which year was this?
Jerry John Lawrence.
Okay, so before 2000.
Yeah. So I said before 99, 90, is it 94 I started this? And I said, if I want to protect my business, I'll protect my business with NDC or was it PNDC?
Yeah,
Jerry's
NDC,
time.
NDC.
So why protecting my... So as much as I tried, they did not allow me to contest for primaries.
But so, I mean, let's go back a bit. What of course, obviously, because of the impression or because of the track record of the PNDC at the time, especially when they were AFRC, of taking business people, Tata, Siam, Boachi markets, and all of that, a lot of the business class at the time were attracted to the MP.
Yeah, but
was that the reason? Was that the reason why?
If you are born a Kwawu, it's right within you.
There's no theory or anything about it.
The family members, everybody those around us. If you go to Nkawkaw, the NDC people, about 70–80% are settlers.
Okay.
Those who have come to work there from other, but the indigenous people, 80–90% are with the MPP.
So it was a natural.
It was a natural thing that you are flowing with them, and you cannot isolate yourself. So that was a natural party I belonged to. So I wanted to contest with them.
And how did you get into? Did you speak to somebody? Do you say, well, of course, already you're a household name, so I want, or did you take some positions at the time, or you were just at the background? Because I know usually most businessmen want to sit back and get, what do you call it? Get people in the front line, support them, so that as you were told, you can protect their business interests and keep the contracts coming.
I love politics. It's not just about contracts. I don't get any contracts. I love it. I want to speak my mind. I want to serve my nation. I want to leave a legacy that there's somebody like called Shaba, he did ABCD. So it was not about protecting my business or anything. At a point in time, I wanted to seriously help. And I was frustrated from all angles. Frustrated. There was a scheme just to make sure I don't come in at all. And that gave me the strength to say that then I'll fight it and get into it. So it was a struggle. Everything that was done to me, I worked against it.
Do you remember some of the... Of course, you've told us about your encounter with the DC. He must have been, of course, an NDC DC.
No. It's MPP DC.
Because, so that was after 2000.
Yes. No.
Because in 96 to 2000, it was
very good. It was
NDC.
NPP DC. Yes. That's around 2004. That is where I decided to get into it. 2004.
So Kufuor's first term,
Yeah, Kufuor's first term. And as much as I tried, nobody would give me the opportunity.
Wow.
So when I said I would contest as independent, they said, "Oh, Nkawkaw, if you put a goat and put the MPP flag, the goat will win for MPP."
So it doesn't matter what you are running, the platform you are running
on. I tried. They didn't allow me. So, and the then MP2 was a 3-time MP, chief whip in Parliament. So it wasn't an easy thing. But I tried as much as I could. Finally, at the end of it, I won 208 massively, beating him by 15,000 votes almost.
Wow. So what spurred you on? Let's, for instance, you want to...
Well, the first thing is that the party has sacrificed me. They don't want to know. So whether I go back or not, they don't want to know. So I had to go out and fight and win the seat. So I knew I was going to win it. Well, I tried 2004. I didn't win it. Not that I didn't win. A lot of things happened.
So 2004, still as an independent?
As independent. So I had to plan and block the loopholes to be able to win. And that is
so
exactly what I did.
So after 2004, when you didn't win as an, you didn't go back to the party, obviously?
No, they didn't accept me.
Of course, NPP, if you go independent.
Because they didn't want to accept me. I wanted to go. And even I went in. I went for the vetting. They cleared me. Then they called me later to tell me that I cannot contest. They called me at the head office. Why? I was coming from the head office. Unfortunately, I was crying because I had done my work. I knew I would win by 70-75% from the primaries. Not to win, I had been set up. Then one man called me. Not to, I was live on air. Shaba, we hear you have been disqualified. Then I said yes. Why? I said I don't know. I didn't know I was on air, and I was crying.
Wow.
Then some of my supporters were listening to me. So immediately after they called and said, Shaba, we are going independent. Nothing will stop us.
Wow. So what was meant to be bad for you ended up being safe.
So
that's how God works.
I got the support of the youth. Then I said, okay, I'll come to Nkawkaw. I went to Nkawkaw and told them that if you want me to contest, I want you to have a rally. And let me see the support base.
Yes, okay.
If I come and I know the support is right, I'll declare my intention. And true to their word, they did not ask me for a persuade. They organized themselves, collected monies from all the youth, 1 city here, 2 cities here. They got 35,000. They organized the rally. When I got there, I was shaking like this. Over 5,000 people were on the park and they were just dancing. So one man said, declare. I was shaking because I was also afraid of what was going to happen
if you declare.
With government in power, fighting the government again. So I was standing there, I said, I want to declare. Then they said, yeah, that is how it started. Then at that time, I said, I'll go out. If I lose the elections this time around, that is the end of it. So I learned from the previous elections. Sure. I went through all the universities and spoke to the choir students over there. So I was able to get about 300 of them who came in to volunteer on the day of the election. That was the day, just the day. So that day, there were about 7 people contesting.
Okay. Let's hold on with the story of the contest and take a break here. When I come back, I know you are salivating. I'm trying to get to know what happened, but don't worry, we need to pay the bills. So when we are back, we will get into the day itself, the contest, and the story behind Shaba kicking out a chief whip, majority chief whip in Parliament in that election. We'll be back after the break. Stay with us.
The Big Issue brings you analysis of the biggest news stories of the week.
The clerk should not assume the role of being the one through whom Kwesi should be served, because Kwesi was not yet a member of Parliament and not yet subject to his jurisdiction.
And the thinking has always been that when you come to Parliament, you are coming to enrich yourself. Where did you get Tinasa? No matter how good you are.
Join me every Saturday morning as we bring context and meaning to the biggest issues of the week.
The MPP has got to quickly wean its mind off the last 4 years, because you're in a false sense of security.
At a point, it was so bad that the President of the Republic then, who was the leader of the New Patriotic Party, President Kufuor, had to issue a statement to encourage the Electoral Commission to declare the winner so he could use the power and the authority of government to ensure that the winner was supported.
My name is Godfred Akutubuafo, and this is The Big Issue. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. only on Citi TV.
You're welcome back. This is still the chamber. I have the Honorable Seth Adjei Baah, Shaba. We're having a discussion on a wide range of issues. We ended on the note of going into election that day after the youth propelled him to declare to go independent after facing serious frustration from his own party, the New Patriotic Party. Yeah. Well, to give some context, 2008 was a year a lot of people, bigwigs in the party properly so called, also aggrieved and they went independent and they cost the party in the election. So, for instance, the first deputy speaker now, Joseph Osei Usu, in Bekwai, he contested independent. he won that seat. There was one of Forikwa Goso in Bosome, something similar. So they were a group of really, and they saved the party in Parliament at the end of the day. I'm sure you will tell us all of that. So 7 December 2008, D-Day.
D-Day, I had about 300 students from the universities, and there were 7 people contesting, NDC, MPP, myself, and the other parties.
Yeah.
So I made sure the NDC people had their own delegate there, somebody there.
Yeah.
MPP was there. I made sure all the other 5 parties were there as agents for me.
Wow.
So I placed 5 people at each polling station.
All the other parties,
gave me their accreditations for me to fill because they knew they were not strong and they were all the youths within the town. They wanted to support me. So out of the 7 people standing at each,
you had 5.
I had 5. So there's no way you could do anything.
Yeah.
And these are the university guys. You
Very
cannot
sharp.
just print the traits that happened in the previous elections. So it was easy thing. At the end of the day, we counted and had beaten by wild margin. Somebody they thought could not have done anything. It was 14,700 and something difference
Between yourself and
So I won and I came to Parliament. Whatever happened there is part of the history, but I learned a lot out of it because I had challenges in Parliament because of my own party.
But this was, I mean, for instance, this was the Akufo-Addo, the election President Akufo-Addo lost in the in time by less than 40,000 votes.
Less than 23,000 votes.
And ahead of that election, you know, at the time, NDC had a slight majority, and NPP wanted to put across the narrative that, don't worry, vote for us to still be in power. We can galvanize forces to still have a working majority in Parliament. So they must have reached out to you after you won the seat.
I joined MPP naturally because I felt that is where I belong to, and that was going to give me the edge to reunite with the party. It didn't happen that way because when I was in Parliament, I was told that I was part of the minority caucus.
Really?
Eastern region, we're then in minority. Eastern region minority caucus. So I joined a meeting of the Eastern region minority caucus in Koforidua. Is it Oyinka Hotel something? When you attend the meeting, you sign. And it was a weekend. I think after Tuesday, I received a summons that I'm flirting with MPP. So I've been sent to court. And they had attached the minutes of that meeting.
Your signature.
My signature was everything, and I went to court. I was shocked. I talked to the big guys. They said, well, I don't want to mention almost every big guy in the party. I gave them part of the summons. You need to find a lawyer. It's a court case. So, well, I had to go and find a lawyer. So whilst I was there, I had a case. They wanted to get me out to have the seat.
So this was internally planned?
Internally planned. And, well, I am a businessman, so I managed to go through. The case was adjourned to the end of the 4 years.
Wow.
Every 1 month we go, they will adjourn the case, this, that, and
frustration.
When they realized they were not getting me out, there was a meeting, they called me that I should step down.
Is this from the national level or regional level or where?
I don't want to mention names, but big guys, if not the biggest amongst them,
called you that you should step down.
And I got furious. It was like hell. I got furious, spoke my mind, and I said I was ready at that time to get out of the party because I wasn't ready to step down.
Oh, you worked hard for the seat.
I won the seat, and I decided to join the party in the House, and if they don't want me, they should tell me. So people started calling from angles because I was furious that day. And I told them, I thank God for where He's brought me. I'm a self-made person. I love the party. That's why I've joined the party. I did not collect anything from anybody to sponsor my campaign or anything. So I don't see why this should happen to me. I've joined the minority. I had a lot of offers to join the majority at that time. A lot of offers.
Yeah.
People spoke to me. But I felt I gave a promise to the people that because Nkawkaw 80% MPP,
yeah.
when I go, I will align with the party. And if they have given me the mandate, why should I?
You can't break that.
So that is, I'm here with them and this is what I'm going through. So it was like that. And I was promised that I'll be allowed to go unopposed on the next election.
2012 election.
So 3 days to the supposed to be declared as a candidate, I was told that some of the party wings are not interested. So I have to go for primaries.
But that happened for some of your colleagues. For instance, Joe Wise.
Yes.
He got, from his independence, he became the candidate and he's remained MPP till now. Why was it different in your case?
I don't know. They said some people are against that and they don't want to encourage certain things. So I kept quiet. So they said I should go for the primaries. I've been independent all this time. I didn't know even one delegate.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't have any list. 3 days to election, they said they would let all the MPs come and support me and I'll win the primaries. The only MP who came there was Kofi Ghana, who was my friend and still my friend. And Steve Dama came, but he wasn't an MP then.
Yeah.
So a big man called me and said, go and lose the primaries.
And then go independent.
When you lose the primaries, they cannot say you are not a party member.
No.
So I went there. They asked me to speak, and I told them that if you want the best of candidate to win this seat, I am the one. I storm everything and won as an independent. If you give me the mandate, I can win 80% of the votes here, but I leave you to decide. So they finished with the elections. I think I was either 4th or so. I got almost less than 30 votes.
Wow.
So that is how, after that, you cannot say I'm not part of it because I've been allowed to go through the primaries. So that's how I was absorbed back into the party. And I think it's not fair. Even though it happened to me, I don't want it to happen to anybody if I have the opportunity who loves to serve the party or want to work for the party. It wasn't the best. So I've since been in the party and that is it about politics. I've been in the party, I've done a lot of things, I've moved around, and I'm still working for the party.
Honorable, if you look back at your time in Parliament, what are some of the experiences you relate to very fondly?
I think we tried as much as possible to clean the system in terms of like Public Accounts Committee, but we realized that we didn't have the power.
But this is a committee where the minorities, I think at the time, was it Kandapa who was
Kandapa was chairing, and unfortunately, anytime he was out of the seat, he asked me to come and sit in. And I was enjoying those days. I really enjoyed those days. You get the people and put it to them to let them explain.
So what's the ones who are wasting our money?
There was a time they brought the IGP. Kandapa was then the Minister of Interior, so he had to excuse himself for me to sit in there to question the IGP. It was something like I will never forget. I enjoyed the engagement that day. But you realize that as much as you want to do it, you don't have the power. And you do all and pass it on, and that is it.
But recently, the Auditor General's report 2021, a lot of rot uncovered, tax irregularities running into millions of Ghana
You question and write the report. What happens?
That's people think
that's why I'm saying there's not much Parliament can do. We have to look at the system and find a way to see how to get those people to refund or pay the monies back or try them. But they go for free.
What about on the floor of Parliament chamber itself?
On the floor of Parliament, it was interesting. You see, Parliament, if you get to Parliament, most of the people, unless once a while, on issues, they select people to speak on the issues. So no matter what you want to say, if you are not selected, the Speaker has a list in front of him and he'll be calling the people who have been selected from each side of the House. Once a while, yes, general discussions, you can have the right to stand up and say something. But I did not see Parliament as it is today. We're like friends. I was just sometimes at free time, I'm going to have coffee or tea with my NDC colleagues. We chat, we do things together.
Well, at the cafeteria, these things still happen. You come and they are there eating kinky, eating jollof.
Do a lot of things together. I remember we traveled to Thailand for the World Parliamentary Program, and I was on the team. And we're going to vote something on Israel and Palestine. Madam Speaker was in another meeting. They asked me to go and sit in there. When the Palestinians did their presentation, I was so touched the way they are being punished. Then there's already ambassador came and said, don't mind them, they are cousins, we know how to handle them. Then we're supposed to vote. Deep within me, I said,
You wanted to vote for Palestine?
I would vote for Palestine. Then a colleague I went with, then I said, let me ask Madam Speaker. The Madam Speaker said, vote where the UK, America, German are voting.
Those are our allies.
Those are our allies. I wasn't happy. I called my senior chairman, Sabonsu. They told me the same thing. That place, there's no NDC MPP. They say vote along this line. But those are allies. So it comes, I got to know that in politics, it's more of interest than the truth.
Interest. This is important. Politics is more interest.
I was sad that day. So I said, I don't think I want to do that. Then he says abstain. If you abstain to it, goes against the president. So they came to Ghana, then I stood up and said, Ghana, we are abstaining from the people were insulting, you are a coward, because they realized that the way the debate was going, I was so touched, I would have gone that line. But I had to respect leadership and I abstained. So we learned a lot of things. Sometimes I tell people that the way you see people throwing chairs and other things, that is not how it is. We have rare friends amongst ourselves. We are friends. So
but this is a parliament like none other. Parliament that is split right down the middle, and independent candidate, MP is holding the balance of power. See what even how the speaker was elected, rancor, chaos, e-levy. We saw the blows and stuff like that. I'm sure as former members of parliament, you look back and you are, this is really parliament.
Sometimes you feel so sad, but it has to happen. It's because if we have done things right as a party, we should have come to this level.
That's true.
Because the imposition becomes too much. People want to put their people because they know them or they are their relations. Allow the people to decide. That is what I believe in. That is democracy that we are preaching. Let the people select the one who will speak their interests, will be there for them. But this imposition, look at what happened to Kwatia.
Yeah. Clear case.
It's very bad. This lady would have won hands down. We lost the seat.
So let's now go to Nkawkaw itself. Over the period that you were a member of parliament, what's some of the projects you look back and things that dotted? You spoke about being legacy minded as a politician. You drive through Nkawkaw now, you go back, you look at the place, with things that really touch you, that you were able to do these things, and forever, even your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, they will tell them that when your grandfather or great-grandfather was MP, he did these things for us.
Quite a lot. Almost all the clinics within the constituency, I renovated them, furnished them with beds and hospital equipment, almost every clinic, including private clinics.
In the constituency?
In the constituency. I built 4 schools. 4 schools. I started the Nkawkaw clinic they commissioned recently as a hospital. I got to the roofing and I left the scene. Office. If you go to Nkawkaw Methodist School, which is at the center of the town, there's a new property there. I built it, but I didn't finish and I left. But at least I finished 4 projects. All the school kids in the constituency, there were about 16,800. I was providing exercise books for all of them.
This was pre-free SHS.
Yes. I set up a couple of computer labs within the constituency. including the Holy Family Nurses Training College. Extension of electricity. We did a lot, even though NDC was in power. Anytime I go, I want light for my people. They were providing them. I should not take that credit from them. We did a lot of electricity extension within the constituency. A lot. Most of the villages had light. Borehole, all those things, I got them because, one, independent. Yes, I was with minority, but I could relate. And whatever I wanted, I got for my people. And I think I'm grateful to the support, for the support they gave me. There were a lot of people. We trained a lot of people. We gave them sewing machines for free. We did a constitution. I think one day I gave 200 sewing machines. Trained them for free. I trained 986 people into tie and dye and batik. I was trying to let them work. The guys, when they come and you say they want employment, what do you want to do? Any job. Any job, it means they might be lacking something. So as people now talk about ginger is from Nkawkaw. I started. I'll buy 234 buckets for you. You go and plant. When you harvest, you bring the two, give it to another person. So at a point in time, all the villages were planting ginger.
And there's market for it.
Market for it now. So if you want to know where you have ginger in the whole country, you go to Nkawkaw. So once I called the guys who are called ginger leaders, I thought, do you know how this thing started? They started laughing. I said, this is what I did for my people. We started planting pineapple and other things. And when they were not getting people to buy the fruits, I sent in a plan to process those pineapple there. That is how I started doing fruit juice over there. So the idea was to impact on the youth who gave me the mandate to help them, to make sure that we make business people out of them. And I'm happy for what I did. And if I have the opportunity, I'll do more.
People say that we've not been able to develop as a country very well because most of the time our leaders lack a certain business mindset to nation building. Those are things a lot of this it comes up every now and then. You're a businessman with a track record that is there for all to see, self-made man. You've also been in political leadership. Is this true? And how do we get around this problem? Because if you're running your own business, a private sector mentality, profit motive, certain attitude, and then there's, even when you look at how private businesses are run compared to how state institutions are run, we see that. What's really the problem? How do we get around this challenge?
We need to blend the two.
Okay.
Because we need business-minded people to be able to make things work. I think, I'm sorry, but I have to say that it's not just about the law.
Okay.
It's about the people who understand to make sure that we invest in areas that will bring good returns for us to be able to make something. Because you invest in certain areas, you will not get anything out of them, and they become debt we've got to pay.
Yeah.
So we have to look at where we are investing. The returns will help us to be able to pay off and still do more.
Okay.
But some of the things are not happening that way. And we need business-minded people to help to move the country forward. All
right, we'll take a break. When I come back, we'll spend our final moments with the Honorable Seth Adjei Baah. We'll be back after the break. You're welcome back from the break. This is still the chamber. Honorable, so let's look at, you're a businessman. You do a lot of things. First of all, if you tell us what the line of businesses you run these days.
Well, I've been into trade. I started with trade.
Yeah.
I went into hospitality. I do construction. I'm now into manufacturing. With the concept. All the cookers you see down there are from my factory.
Wow.
I'm into electric and gas cookers. We do aluminum bowls. We are into nails. I have mineral water factory. We are doing fruit juice.
All produced
and
here.
all produced in Ghana, in my constituency, with a mind of creating jobs for them for what they did for me. I'm giving back to them.
Great. There's, of course, yesterday there was the CPI, Statistical Service, spoke about inflation going up above 30%. generally you speak to people and they say the business climate is not good. It's been going on a downward spiral, and that essentially the economic management is not good. You are an MPP person and you're also a businessman, and if the economic indicators are not good, businessmen feel the pain, dollar and all of that. What comments do you have?
It's true we have challenges and we have to find a way to come out of it. There are difficult times. I know it's not solely because of mismanagement, but there are a lot of external factors we cannot control. I used to import a lot. Just before the COVID, 20-footer container was about 2,800. Fleet from China. Just within the COVID, it went to 8,000 plus. Just the fleet. So if you were buying some items for 10,000, raw materials for $10,000, the fleet alone is 8,000. When you come here, the taxes are based on cost, insurance, and fleet. So automatically, the basis of working tax is high already. Then you work our normal tax. You are thrown out of jail. So it happens that most people will stop importing because the prices are now twice or triple before they come here.
That should be an opportunity for local industry to get
that
to
is
stand
the way
up.
out. But unfortunately, the local industries have not been built to be able to take over. For us to be able to compete, you have to get the right quality, right quantity, and the right price. These three things. Do we have the quantities we have? I run my factory. I don't have the needed capital to re-import, because there should be a cycle of importing. If, let's say, one cycle is $200,000, I need about $600,000 for 3-month cycle. And if I don't have that money, now $1 is 10 cedi. So how do I import? And when I import, the prices are already high over there. Then you come, and because of the fleet and other things, the duties are automatically going wayward. So when you pay these things, you got to pass on to the people. The people's salary have not been touched, so they cannot just afford. So you realize that whatever you were selling some months back, you are doing about 20-30% now, and it's a big challenge. So we bear with them, but the external factors are also challenges. We cannot say it's all mismanagement. I was telling somebody yesterday that I've been pushed to be using a small car. When I take the V8 to Nkawkaw, I have to spend $1,200 for fuel now.
Wow.
But if I take the small car, I spend about $400 to $500 for in and out.
And Nkawkaw is just about 2 hours away from here.
Yes, and people ask, why do you have to come with this car? I say, I want to economize the soup because more Gary is there. So
everyone is feeling the pinch.
The pinch, yes, we feel it, and we think we should all find a way. If we had pushed and established the local industries, that would have been a way out. The one district, one factory is a wonderful idea. And if we're able to support people to get on their feet, the city will just appreciate, because we'll stop a lot of the imports. Most of the things we are importing, we can do them locally. But some things haven't gone on well. I import raw material for nails. As I speak to you, I haven't gotten the exemptions done, so I have to pay duties. Others who are coming, the big boys, because they want to come into the countries, are giving the exemptions. Who are foreigners. I import the gas cookers, I haven't gotten the exemption. And it's a big challenge, you see. So there are a lot of things we should sit out to be able to plan them well and give support to local industry. People have put their money into buildings, machinery. They don't have working capital. We should be able to support them. For me, I think people should be supported to be able to stand on their feet. Whilst we are supporting them, we are creating employment as well. And we are giving value to the city because we consume what we produce. But unfortunately, about 70-75% of the things we use here are all imported. If you look around this room, everything, almost everything is imported, which is quite unfortunate. So until we learn to consume what we produce, or we produce what we consume, we're still going to have a lot of challenges.
Your party, it's, well, I don't know if we'll say, I don't know if to put it that it's at a crossroads in terms of going into the 2024 election. They need to choose a new flag bearer. This will be a 2007, 2000 situation all over again. And at that point in time, even though you were fighting your own battle in Nkawkaw, you were in the thick of events and saw what happened. Which way should the party go?
The way forward is to unite the party.
Okay. But the unity can only come after the rancor.
We should now accept the fact that we are one party going for a battle, or a contest. Whoever comes on, we'll all rally behind the person. If we don't unite now, after the contest, there will be a lot of division because people are going to say a lot of things, do this and do that. Leadership should unite the party, unite the party, unite the party. There shouldn't be factions. And when we go there, whoever wins, we'll support the person.
There's a suggestion that
people are thinking that it's an easy way for NDC. It's not true.
Really?
When we unite the party,
you can break the 8.
We'll break the 8, not that we can break the 8. I know what I'm talking about. The things we are seeing, we are hearing. We're going to sit down and come out with a strategy. We'll win the elections hands down. The only thing that will let us lose the election is for the front of the MPP to be divided.
Okay. There are suggestions. I mean, you are talking about unity. There's a suggestion for a consensus candidate to be chosen.
It's part of the unity
among
we are talking about.
So you subscribe to that.
I believe we should come together, unite the party, and together we can come out with a leader we all support who win the elections. You know, NDC, MPP, the decision is by the floating voters.
True.
NDC is about 44, we are about 45%. The rest is about the floating voters. Yes. And no MPP true person will go and vote the other way. Yeah. NDC people too will not vote.
The floating voters vote according to their economic circumstances.
Things are going to change.
You said that the economy is not good.
You see, whoever thought that UK economy will go the way it's going?
Well,
the big countries, they are all struggling. So what about a country like Ghana? Yes, we know it's not the best.
The IMF program will change the situation.
It's not just IMF. It's a combination of a lot of things. Combination of a lot of things. If we are able to put the 1D, 1F right and we start empowering the private sector to take up their position, things will work for us, definitely.
Okay, I know you work a lot with youth groups, you talk to people, and people just like myself and everybody who is watching like to get a lot of your business ideas, encouragement and all. We are at a situation where, in fact, the budget last year was captioned moving into an entrepreneurial state, which means that, and of course, this is for a very long time, we've had a budget and a national system that is moving away from people finishing school and wanting to get into civil service ministries, going to working for the government. There's this push with the You Start and all of that to get people to start their own businesses. There's no better person to talk to us about this than you. Looking at how you started right after O-level and building a business empire this way. People say entrepreneurship is hard and it's not meant for anyone. What would you advise to a young person who wants to start his own business right after school?
I think as hard and difficult as it is, somebody has to do it.
Okay.
And if you have the flair and desire, get involved. You'll be able to come out successfully. It's about self-discipline. Okay. About self-discipline and hard work. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you will make it. That is the way forward. When I started, even though I was making good money at the initial stage, I was still receiving salary.
Okay.
So when I come to my own shop, I want to buy a bottle of Coke, I pay for it and take the change.
From your salary?
Yes.
The salary
the salary I take is what I use
to spend. Okay.
To spend for everything. Discipline. My mom goes to my shop, she buys everything. If you ask her, you say, I don't want to take it for free and somebody will steal and add on.
Collapse, yeah.
I know when I need money, my son will give me money. If my wife wants to take a tin of milk, she pays for it. It's about discipline. If I know I'm living on this amount, I live on it. Not that today I've been able to sell 10,000, so I can
windfall.
take any amount. No. That's not it. You've got to be disciplined, and you've got to be hardworking, because the people follow the leader.
True.
If you get up, you come to work at 10, your subordinates will come at 10:05 or 5 minutes to 10. But I can come here 8 o'clock. So if you come after that, you are late. So you, the leader, should be disciplined. The way you've got to respect money. If you don't respect money, you won't get money. You've got to respect money. You've got to be very disciplined. You've got to be very hardworking. Because I start early, I go to the construction site. From there, I'll come to the office. I'll be working. Those days, I had a hotel running. I'll be going there. I'll make sure I supervise everything. And when they know you are coming there, they'll also behave and do the right thing.
Well.
So, entrepreneurship is good. We want to encourage many more people to get there. Because with that private sector, government employs less than 700,000 people in this country. Government employs less than 700 people. The rest is about private sector. And you got to start from down there. People are looking up to getting some big mind to become entrepreneurs. No, start it small and develop it gradually. You'll be there.
I'd also say that the youth, up and coming youth, the ordinary Ghanaian, really does not have this positive attitude to it. Is there something wrong with the attitude of Ghanaians to work?
Attitude of Ghanaians to work.
Entrepreneurship.
We have been trained in the schools to go and look for white-collar job.
Okay.
That is a big challenge. I remember when I was the president of the Chamber of Commerce, we engaged with the universities that we should have a curriculum to train the people to come out as entrepreneurs. And I remember they were calling me to Jimpa to lecture them on starting businesses and other things. Now they don't call, I don't know what is happening there, but if you train them in a way, you cannot shake them to come to this side, or that is all that they know. But let's find a way to introduce entrepreneurship and prepare them to come out to embrace it. You see, sometimes too they think that, where do they start from? You don't need money to start to become an entrepreneur. You need a mindset. Develop your mindset. And there are people who have money who can partner with you to develop your ideas. So I think we have to encourage our young ones to get into it. It is by so doing we can create the needed employment for people. I think I've never been employed. The first time I was employed was to be in Parliament. And that time when I think we were taking about 3,900. By then I had two expatriates who were receiving about $3,000 each. But in Parliament I was taking far less than that. I went there. I love being there because I also want to impact and serve my people. If I have the opportunity, I'll do it again.
So should we expect a comeback?
If I have the opportunity, I'll do it again.
Speaking in parables, put it that way. Okay, so that's the Honorable Seth Adjei Baah. Thank you very much.
I'm grateful
for this
to have
wonderful
you with me
opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'm very grateful.
All right, so that's how I wrap up this week's edition of the Chamber. I'm sure I've learned a lot. I'm leaving with serious, insights into business. Yeah, so I'm sure you've done the same as well. Same time next week, we'll be back on the same channel with another exciting personality.